What happens if you build a life around heading outside every single day, no matter what? I'm Amy Bouchatz, and you're listening to the Humans Outside Weekly Outdoor Diary, where I share with you my own insights from heading into nature every single day for at least 20 minutes, no matter the weather. What did I learn, hear, see, and experience this week as I take on the Humans Outside 365 Challenge? Come along for my insights and, yes, my more than occasional fails. This is my real life, after all. Are you ready? Let's go. When was the last time you completely unplugged in nature? For a few hours? For a day? For a few days? If you keep tabs on my daily outdoor habit via the Humans Outside Instagram and Facebook pages, you may have noticed a few days of my daily outdoor time missing at first and then posted in bulk later. That's because we were taking our annual outdoor adventure trip somewhere without any cell service or internet access. I was completely unplugged, and it was spectacular. This was not a last-minute trip. In fact, I've been planning this one for over a year. I wanted to head out for a trip across Kachemak Bay to the Halibut Cove Lagoon State Park public use cabins, which you have to book 7 months in advance to reserve. And because I realized this was something I wanted to do early last summer when it was way too late to book them, I marked my calendar for November to book in time. One of my first podcast guests here, Charles Wohlforth, had mentioned Halibut Cove as being his favorite outdoor space, and ever since then, getting out there has been one of my top summer goals. The planning was totally worth it. With the help of a water taxi and 3 kayak rentals, 2 doubles for me and my family, and a single for my sister who is visiting from Idaho, we headed out for the about 30-minute boat ride to the lagoon, which is outside Homer, Alaska. The weather was cloudy with passing showers, but nothing really chilly or too much to handle. We packed our gear into 5 backpacking packs, plus a large tote and a duffel bag full of food, a stove, and some other comfort items like camp chairs, and off we went. The boat dropped us off at the dock, surrounded by this lake-like blue-green lagoon water, birdsong, and the voices of a few kayakers out on the water. We hauled our stuff up the ramp to get ready to occupy the cabin, which was still full of the previous users for the next few hours. Thanks to the tide schedule, we had to come in a few hours before they were required to move out of the cabin, and many hours before their own boat came to get them. They were very gracious and let us hang out in the vicinity while we explored and ate some breakfast. The boat ride left at 8 a.m., and we decided we'd feel less queasy on the trip if we weren't full of breakfast food first, so we saved it till we got to shore. In case you haven't heard me talk about these public use cabins, here's a little background. The state park system has almost 100 cabins that can be rented by users. They are typically located in spectacular places around the state, many of them very remote, even more remote than where we were this time. The price is right, too. Our cabin cost us about $230 for a 3-night stay with 5 people. Most of the cabins are fairly small, just one room with bed platforms and a table and benches, counter, and wood-burning stove. This one, which had been repurposed to a public use cabin from an old ranger station, had 2 bedrooms attached to a main kitchen area with the table, stove, countertop, and even a sink that drained outside below the cabin, which made dishes a lot easier. A spigot between our Lagoon Overlook cabin and a smaller nearby cabin known as the East Cabin had fresh water brought in through a gravity system from a nearby creek. We were able to fill our jug there before treating it. The cabin was really well maintained with a large outdoor area dedicated to it. And one more word about the overall facilities. I have never seen a state park area with so many outhouses per capita. It blew my mind. A state park employee friend said it's probably so they have to perform maintenance on each one less, which is a valid point. But there were 4 outhouses for 2 cabins in a very remote area that can only be accessed by boat or float plane. For perspective, the Finger Lake State Park near my house, which is a pretty large campground and a hugely trafficked boat ramp, also has just 4. The difference has to be hundreds of people per weekend. The Halibut Cove Lagoon, where the tide comes dramatically in and out, revealing hundreds of starfish in the tide pools or moving farther up the bank than you thought it would, was a menagerie of wildlife. Otters, loons and their kooky calls, harbor seals, robins, bald eagles, starfish, jellyfish, porpoises, rumors of bears, but no actual bears, and of course, all of this under the endless daylight because we were there just before solstice and the longest day of the year when it never actually gets dark outside. Here's some sound I captured for you while sitting on the dock reading a book, listening to some loons. One day, we kayaked 6 miles round trip and hiked to a glacier lake. Another, we hiked over a mountain saddle to a different bay. But more than anything, we rested our souls and minds by the cabin, reading books, paddling around the lagoon, and taking advantage of the 3-day effect. The 3-day effect is this idea that when you spend time unplugged in nature in a place that makes you feel awe, your brain and stress levels experience a recovery that does not happen in 2 days and is not really any better than what happens in 4 days. 3, it seems, is the magic number. If you're interested in hearing more about that, you should check out Florence Williams' audiobook of the same title, The 3-Day Effect. But you're going to have to just trust me that it's a thing. 3 days and 3 nights after heading into the lagoon, we came out again on the same boat, cruising into Homer on a bright and sunny day. We were dirtier than we were to start with, but we were also happier and well-rested in a way that fed spirit and soul. These multi-day trips are really important to my health, emotional, physical, and mental. They unplug me from all the noise and help me recenter on what's important. They give me a chance to make an effort to find an adventure and experience worth having. And they clear out the clutter so I can take a beat and understand what I want to do in my day-to-day life, what's important for giving my time to, and what things I should really stop doing. You can, of course, see photos from our adventure on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm hoping you're having a magical summer too. Share your photos with me at #HumansOutside365. Until next time, we'll see you out there.